My name is Sharon Barton-Maggio. Thank you for viewing my presentation. Michael told me that they would like me to do that, and I have to tell you, I think I'm a little more comfortable being the underwriter than doing presentations, but I wanted to do this one because it's a very special Georgian style dollhouse, beautiful in its craftsmanship. I love looking through the windows, and you know you've got a hint of what's going on in each room. This is my first dollhouse that I have ever this size purchased. Originally I had very small ones, but they were never much fun to play with. So when we were at a show where Ann Timpson had this beautiful house for sale, I turned to my husband and I said, John, I would really like that house. And he's such a great guy that he didn't say how much, how are we going to get it home. He just said, Sharon, where are we going to put it? And I looked at him and I said, John, you never have to worry. I will never take your bed or your kitchen table away from you. And I've kept my promise all these years. And like I said, this house is Georgian style. I know that it has been dated by the individual that I bought it from, Ann Timpson. She said 1850 to 1860. And when we get to preview the inside, you will find handcrafted papers that are original to the house, curtains that are original to the house, and it is quite a very wonderful house, and I am delighted to share it with you today. In each room we have some very special items, and what I love about this house is the way it sits, and I created a beautiful outdoor scene as if there are life and people and different individuals helping, as we know that these type of homes required a lot of people to assist with the upkeep. So we're going to start in the kitchen, and it is a well finished kitchen. You can see several different helpers in the kitchen. You can see a few animals that have wandered into it because the Victorians truly loved their animals, and it has just some wonderful items. This entire house was furnished by items that Ann Timpson had. My wonderful friends David and Michael at the Carmel Doll Shop helped me with several items, and just other items that I happened to find in the different shows. Now, the one thing about the kitchen that I always have to laugh at, and if you saw my last presentation, you would remember that when I introduced John to my family, my daughters were skeptical. Of course, you know, they're supposed to protect their mother. And when I was naming off all the great things, and they still weren't convinced, and then I said, and he's a great Italian cook, and they said, oh, Mom, keep him, because you know you are not a cook. But I love my kitchens. I may not cook, but I really like the kitchens, and they are always the first one that I will start working with. Okay, now we're going to the center. This is a hallway. This is exactly like you would have seen in a house this age. You come in, you have a place to put your umbrellas, walking sticks. There is a key box for the different rooms. There's a clock. There's some very beautiful things, and it has a staircase going up. Now, one of the very, very unique and so treasured to me items in this house is that all the wallpapers are original. They were handcrafted. This little girl, or a young lady who got this house, she came from a very wealthy family, and they ordered and prepared this house with the very best papers and floor coverings. Now we go into the dining room, which is the heart of any Victorian house, and today we have several individuals who have come to have Christmas dinner. Of course, all my houses have Christmas trees because that is the favorite time of the year for me, and it has a lot of little presents for all the children that are going to be receiving them. It has individuals who are there waiting while dinner is prepared from the kitchen. And of course you see animals, because again, they had a lot of animals, and it wasn't until later when an English painter painted cats that all of a sudden cats became very important to the Victorian families. Now we're going to go up into what would be the parlor, and the parlor was for those individuals who were attending the events. This is where they waited, or if there was not an event happening in the house at that time, this is when they went to socialize. There's some beautiful items I would like to point out to you. Gorgeous chandeliers, of course, in every room, because they had very opulent type of chandeliers. Beautiful. We have several people who are here joining them. One of my favorite little guys who's come today is dressed up in his very special costume, and he looks like he might have been allowed to come home from Christmas to whatever school or academy he was sent to. Something else that is really special and is beautiful and is so original and very mint is a needlework stand. Now we know that all Victorian ladies, they weren't supposed to go to work. They were supposed to be very well orientated in the home arts, and this is a replica of one of them that they would sit for hours doing their needlepoint. And what I think is so special, if you look, all of the items that are hanging from it would have been things that they would have used, and that this is still has these. The thread is very special to me and makes this a very wonderful piece. Another beautiful piece that I'm really proud to have is a lamp that sits beside the chairs, and again it has all the crystals intact. It is if not mint, it's very close to it, and it's a beautiful one, and it looks so appropriate in this particular room. Close-ups of the room will show you that we have friends of the family, a few animals sitting around, and they also have a piano for entertainment. They have different items for entertainment. Normally there would be probably a musical instrument, because this is where all the entertainment took place, and the individuals were kept busy awaiting dinner time. Now we're going to go into the second hallway, and my favorite item in this room is the young little dog with her puppies who are sitting in here in the hallway, maybe banished from the kitchen, maybe banished from one of the bedrooms, but they are enjoying living in this beautiful house. The flower arrangement is wonderful. The lantern that's in the hallway hanging is from our dear friends Michael and David at Carmel Doll Shop. They supplied many of the items for this house. Now we come to the bedroom, and as you can see today we have quite a group that have gathered for Christmas Day. Maybe they've come up to talk with the family. You can see the one young lady, she has her dog, and she's going to go walking the dog probably after dinner. We see gentlemen and beautiful ladies all dressed up in their finery, and of course we see housekeeping, which were the heart of how these beautiful homes were able to function, and a beautiful ornate chandelier. In the back there is a canopy bed, which is beautiful again, Anne helped with many items. Other individuals who are my friends found different items. Kathy Ray, several items came, and different, Marion Moss, different individuals. Now we're going to go up to the main room for the children, the nursery. And when you look at this, you think, wow, there's a lot of children in here. No, these all weren't from one family, but as there's a large family gathering today, they are all here under the direction of the nannies who aren't going to be enjoying a Christmas Day dinner. They're going to be taking care of the many children that have been brought to this event. A couple of things I'd like to point out to you are the children's minders, and that's what children were put in, and we know them today as something very different. And I'd like to show you this one. This is beautiful. It is made of bone, and it has a very small doll in it, but they did have this was made especially. It's a very old minder, and it looks really nice. And then we have another very unusual one, which is a little bit later, and it's wicker, and I think that is wonderful. I'm really happy to have this particular item, and the little boy that's sitting in there looks very appropriate size-wise. Now in the nursery, as I said, you can see many children are up here playing. I love all the toys that I find. Here's a little ball. The children are playing with their toys. Trains, of course. There's dolls. There's an easel, which one child you can see that she is drawing on. All these items in here are to keep the children very busy so they won't miss their parents, and they will have a lot of items to play with. In the chest is a conglomeration of dolls and bears and different types of toys for the children to play with. And I particularly am very happy with this particular item. It is beautiful, it is all original, and it is something that might have been given to the very rich girl of the family, and she put it up in the nursery. So we're going to put him back in his place so that they can find him and play with him. Again, a rocking horse. I see some cribs, a table for them who want to sit down, and there was so many items for them to be kept busy with. Then we go to the third hallway, and in here you see one of the ladies that's come, probably one of the mothers that's come to check on how the children are doing. The Rock and Garner key holder is on the side, and that was very important, and there's always one on every floor for the housekeeping servants who would need to use that. There's some nice items there, decorative items, and again a beautiful hanging light. And then there's also on the stand is a wonderful, and it matches all the other chandeliers, is a beautiful table chandelier. Now we come to the last of this beautiful house, and this is a combination. It is a parent's bedroom, but it's also, many times they would have a youngest child be in the bedroom with them until they were old enough. You see two nannies, because today 2 nannies are needed. There are so many children here. You can see a beautiful light fixture. and many toys. And in the background is a gorgeous bed, Rock and Garner, beautiful blue canopy bed for the adults. As you've heard from me before, one of the boxes that I first check off when I see a house that I would really like to have is the architecture. The architecture on this Georgian house is absolutely beautiful. It is a one-piece covering, and I don't normally have it on the house because then it's difficult to take it down, but it is so sturdy, well made. All the original glass is there. The paint is perfect. This house was taken care of by many possible loving families, and I continue to take very good care of it. I love the portico. If I left it in front of the house, I would definitely decorate it with some flowers on the top, definitely with some people standing on the top, some individuals maybe coming to that, as I love to create scenes that depict actual life. As you can tell, I believe in life in my houses. That was normal life. Pets, parents, children, babies, visitors, that was part of normal life. And what I really liked about what I was able to do for this house was the fact that I could create an outside scene. On this side, you have it's Christmas, so of course you're going to have some individuals in sleds, some skiing. You have a little dog that's beside them. Then outside the house, you can we'll see we have an individual who is going to be getting a carriage for the family that will be leaving when the event is over. And he's beautiful. He has his original hat, clothes, and his staff that he would be using when driving the horses. My very favorite item is this individual. He is mint, has all of his adornments. He would be the individual that would help load the items into the carriage for the family, and he comes with a valise that he has definitely shows he's brought down in anticipation of somebody leaving. Again, these are all things that are happening outside the front house, and I love to depict that because it shows life is going on. We also have a very nice mailman who is maybe bringing some mail to the house, and he has his original bag. His outfit is in very good condition, and he definitely has a hat and a mail pouch that you can easily identify him as a postman, or a post carrier as they were probably called. Now, because it's a nice, beautiful day, winter day, you will find that you have a family and their dogs, and they are taking an easy stroll throughout the day, and they happen to pass in front of this beautiful house. You have a gentleman who has an extraordinary coat, and very typical of what the Victorian gentleman would have worn, because, and you can see it looks pretty heavy because this is a very cold winter's day. Then we have his wife, who, again, you can see very affluent, very beautiful costuming, gorgeous hat, and they are out, she and her husband are out walking the dogs. One of the most beautiful parts of these dogs is that they are both on a double harness, and she has her leash in her hand, so she's walking them. I think that they may be used for pulling a child's sled, but today they're not pulling a sled. She is taking them for a walk. And then, of course, at the side of the house we have a very old lantern, And we have some decorations that children have made, snowmen that they have made to decorate and to have in front of the house, because again, it is the Christmas winter season. Along the side, one of my favorite items is this little girl. She has a sled, and she is giving her teddy bear a ride rather than be playing with the other children. Continuing around the other side, we have a group that has gathered in front of a very nice rock and grinder furnace to keep them warm. We have some visitors, we have some toys sitting on the one bench, and of course a Christmas tree, because it is that time of year. Again, just an extremely beautiful house, handcrafted papers, beautiful carpeting. How it has lasted so long. All the draperies are original to it, and they are intact and have done wonderful surviving. And this is one of my favorite ones because it shows life as it is. I want to thank you so much for watching this presentation. I hope you agree what a beautiful house this is and that it shows so much life. I hope it's been for your pleasure, and it is a house that I have enjoyed having for a long time.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.